All right, guys, let's see what we got in the news today. So I have a little bit of car talk inside the car talk. And the first one is from Auto Evolution. Thousands of Mustang Mach-Es are piling up on dealers' lots, and Ford wants them gone. So, just to put it out there, I don't have any qualms with Ford. I don't have any qualms with Toyota. I don't have any qualms with any auto manufacturer, really. And no, I've never worked for any of them either. So I understand people are going to speculate about the content that they see without very much context behind it. But I just throwing it out there so you guys know. And honestly, I don't mind sharing information with you guys. And I do understand that we are in a car community. The whole goal and purpose of this channel is to engage in conversation with car guys, okay? I say car guys, but if you're a car girl, that's cool too. And you know, if you're a Trans Am, it is what it is. But in that, we're going to use some normal terminology and nomenclature here, and we're going to go with fanboy. We're going to go with fanboy. And the reason why I say this is because I know that certain manufacturers, certain brands, and more specifically certain models and or engine types will create fanboys. Growing up, I was a fanboy. I was a Japanese fanboy. I was actually a Honda fanboy. I wasn't so much into Nissan growing up as a kid. My first, experience, was Honda Acura JDM for life, from a Civic DX, a D15 1.5 non-VTEC single overhead cam, working my way up to a B18B 1.8 liter dual overhead cam, non-VTEC Integra LS, and then from there going and skipping over the GSR, which I was trying to buy a GSR, but I just happened to stumble across a Honda dealership that was like, we don't have any GSRs, but we just took in a Type R on trade. And me, not knowing anything at the time, I was like 17 or 18 years old. I said, okay, is it like a GSR? They said, yeah. So I bought a Type R. Had no clue what it was at the time. But anyway, then we move on to B18 C5 or C1. I can't remember which one it was. The US spec, C5 or C1. I can't remember. It's been a while. That was, I don't know, 39 cars ago. It's a long list. It's a long list of car history, which I think that would actually be kind of fun to run down that list. Kind of establish a little bit of a rapport with everybody here. And I keep a note in my phone of car history because, yeah, that's what car guys do. And when your list is 37 vehicles long, you probably need a list to keep up with it. Now this is all motorized vehicles, okay? Not just cars. Includes trucks and motorcycles. No boats. I've never actually owned a boat. So we're gonna go from 94 Honda Civic DX, 94 Acura Integra LS, 2001 Acura Integra Type R, 1995 Nissan Hardbody, Honda CBR F4. I don't have a year because I don't remember. It might have been a 01. And then Honda CBR 600RR. I think that was an 03. Then I got a Nissan Maxima, which I don't remember what year that was. AB Anthony, he could probably help in the comment section. 2003 Infiniti G35 Coupe. All manuals at this point, besides that Maxima. And then, 99 Yamaha R1. I was getting into my leader bike phase. 2003 Yamaha R1. Then an Acura RSX, just an RSX, not a Type S. Then a 2003 Mitsubishi Lancer Evo 8. And then I moved on to a Isuzu Trooper because I wanted a daily. I didn't want to drive the Evo all the time. We move on to another Nissan Maxima. And I don't remember that Nissan Maxima. I don't remember which one that was. And then we move on to a Civic hatch. That was an EG hatch. I think it was a 92 or 93. And then I had a 86 Toyota Tercel. I got it for $600. I was in my frugal phase. And then I picked up another Maxima. Okay, so the Maxima before that was an 03. It might have been, or maybe it was an 02 or 01, because it didn't have the good HID headlights, if you guys know what I'm talking about. I'm pretty sure that's how that one went down. And then after the second Maxima was like, oh shit, I don't remember which year that was either, but it was a newer generation. But it was the generation, it had the little strip glass on the roof, and then it went to the full sunroof. I had the first full sunroof, whichever one that was. Then after that, I went back and bought a 90, I think it was a 96 Integra GSR, because I was feeling nostalgic. But then I got rid of it shortly thereafter. After that, I got a AP1 S2000, and then it was a, I don't remember what year the Civic Si was. I don't remember what year the Civic Si was, but it wasn't, it might have been like a 05 or something. I don't remember which one it was. Then I had an E46 M3. From there, I went on to a Suzuki GSXR 600. I wanted to get another bike, but I didn't want another liter bike. And from there, I went to an AP2 S2000, an E92 M3 DCT, an E30 325i convertible. That was a project that I just abandoned. And then I got a 335 four-door that I took to Solo Motorsports, and we did a single, a dock race, top mount single, put down like 600. It was a little ridiculous. And from there, I went on and started a business, started my company. So I bought a 2017 Ford F-250, Power Stroke, Super Duty, Lariat. Then I picked up a Camaro ZL1, and that was a 17 ZL1. That was my track car. Then I got a 2016 Cayman. That was a PDK Cayman. The bass, I thought the bass had the better sound in regard to engine and exhaust. Then, you know, it was the whole drive a slow car fast days. From there, I swapped my 2017 F-250 for a 2019 F-250 Sport, and we went lifted, and 37s on, I think it's 37, 12 and a half. Then we went 2017 M3 Competition, Laguna Seca Blue individual, and then a 2015 SS1LE Camaro that we then we took it to Spartan LSX in Auburn, Georgia, and we went with Texas Speed, you know, cam, headers, exhaust, tune. It was rowdy. And then from there, I picked up a 2021 Type R because I found one in Rome, and they sold it to me without any markup, so I just bought it. I didn't care. And then I got a 2015 S550. I saw it at the dealership. I've always wanted one. It was cheap, so I bought it. And then from there, we moved on to where I am today, which is this 2018 Porsche Macan GTS. And I also have a 2021 Mercedes Sprinter 3500 XD, but it's technically registered as a 2022 American Coach Patriot because it's been fully converted. That's number 37. What will number 38 be? I don't know. But be that as it may, I kind of have a feel for fanboyism, and I've distanced myself from just being Honda only. But back then, you know, our choices and our options were limited, and the price points were, you know, a little bit different. So Honda was a cheap entry level, and theoretically, you know, you could have fun with it and tinker and tune and mess around with it on a budget. So as income increased, the car value increased, and the mods increased and all that other stuff. But I do know, like, I've been in this world for a while, and I know that some people, they become fanboys of a brand, of a model, of anything possibly. And if you've ever watched any of the Fitment Industries videos, you guys know what I'm talking about. So when I come across some of these comments, I can identify a fanboy when I see him. So this comment came in on a video that I put up, And it said something to the effect of, Ford Motor said on Tuesday it would supply more than 1,000 F-150 Lightnings and Mustang Mach-E electric vehicle EVs to Ecolab to replace the water treatment firm's gas-powered vehicles in California. Ecolab said it was planning to replace all 11,000 vehicles in its North American fleet with EVs by 2030, and the company, which expects to lower its overall costs from the shift to EVs, said that it could potentially save about 50% in annual fuel costs per 2023 F1 Lightning Pro truck. So I get it, I understand, but I do think that this comment comes from a Ford EV fanboy or a Biden EV fanboy, or I'm not 100% sure what fanboy you are, but I've seen some of these comments and it just seems like you really got a hard on for Ford and their EVs. And in regard to my thoughts and opinions about Ford going bankrupt because of EVs. Now, a company investing in Ford Lightnings and Mach-Es in California, sorry, I'm in Florida. I'm in Florida here, not there. But in California, kind of makes sense because, you know, California's like bizarro land, okay, in my opinion. But if there's an incentive, if there's some form of tax deduction or break or whatever for the business, I get it. Maybe there's a deal made because of the volume that they're purchasing and how desperately Ford would like to move these, or whatever dealership would like to move these and get rid of them. Odds are they would probably sell this fleet and never replenish because they don't want to be involved in this Ford EV nightmare that is about to happen. Not to mention, again, it's California. But, I mean, history repeats itself, folks. And it was not too long ago where it's like, look, if it were me and I had to buy an EV, I'm probably going to buy a Tesla. I wouldn't enjoy it. I wouldn't like it. I would know that my brand new Tesla had terrible build quality and some of the panels didn't line up and the interior was trash and it had swirl marks on it, like all sorts of things. But I'd probably buy a Tesla because there's so many out. The Model Y, according to Stradman, I watched his video of his new headquarters. Go check it out if you haven't seen it. He says that Model Y is the #1 selling car, or Tesla. I don't know which one it was, but there's so many of them. Jelly bellies is what he called them. But I would go that route because strength in numbers, right? Rivian needs to, you know, solidify itself in the game. Lucid needs to solidify themselves in the game. And so if I'm gonna get one, I would not buy a Hyundai Ioniq 5 because I don't care if it's a few instances. The instances that have happened seem terrible, and I would not want to be involved with that. And I watched Rich replace and repair Hoovy's Model S battery, but I think that was a little bit of a different situation. So I think I would stick with a Tesla Model Y, probably, I guess, or a new 3. The new 3 is not terrible looking, but I would only go that route because I feel like it wouldn't let me down as bad as some other choice. So to think that Tesla is the king when it comes to EVs right now, and to then speculate that, you know, Ford's doing great things and Ford's not going to go bankrupt. Like, look at Ford's stock price, for which I was talking to a buddy of mine today, and he's like, Kevin, you do remember when Ford almost went bankrupt, right? You do remember when Ford's stock price was like at $1, right? So you're absolutely correct in your logic and thinking of how this could potentially be a devastating, spiraling downfall and the collapse of Ford by way of this EV mandate and them trying to find a way to offset their overall sales to 60% EV. He goes, but they probably won't go away. And I said, no, I don't think they're going to go away, but they will be bailed out at some point in time. But the simple fact of the matter is that they're going to need to be bailed out. America won't let Ford fail, period. But we're going to probably engage in like a longer conversation about that on another video. So if you guys are interested, then let me know. But either way, another comment from somebody separate says Ford just cut their F-150E production in half because they're not selling, and the lots have over a year's supply of the Mustang E because they're not selling. So, you know, I'm gonna stick to my guns, and you know, my thoughts and my feelings and my opinions about Ford and their EV situation and the game that's happening right now, and the headlines, the stories that are coming out. For instance, Auto Evolution, thousands of Mustang Mach-Es are piling up on dealer lots and Ford wants them gone. Well, if Ford wants them gone, don't you think that they're going to incentivize people to buy them? Especially if you can get people to buy them in bulk and in volume. This video is already longer than I really wanted it to be, so I'm not going to read this article because then we'll be here forever. But, you know, Detroit Free Press talks about this. Ford inks deal selling 1,000 electric F-150 Lightnings, Mustangs, and Mach-Es. But, you know, here's the deal. Here's my thoughts. Here's my opinions. Be that, you know, you don't have to like it. You don't have to agree. I'm just sharing it with you guys. And the simple fact of the matter is that this California-based company, which is already probably not thinking, you know, logically, probably is incentivized to make this expenditure, and they have a plan for depreciation of these assets or these liabilities really over, you know, 5 years, or perhaps maybe a Section 179 deduction, and they can immediately capture the full deduction in 2024, as well as the tax rebate incentives for buying EVs and this, that, and the other, whatever, and, you know, appease Gavin Newsom and Joe Biden, whatever their agenda is, okay? But let's not argue the fact that someone who probably knows what the hell they're talking about just unloaded their Tesla fleet. Just unloaded their Tesla fleet. Now, I'm not saying that I'm an expert, but I'm saying that I would probably put my money on a Tesla as an EV choice and option first. Not Ford, not Rivian, not Lucid, not BYD, not Hyundai, not G, like nobody. Tesla is the winner. Argue that, please, if you would. I'd love to hear what you guys think. So when I see a company like Hertz, who knows their vehicles and knows their cars and knows their fleets and knows their operating costs and expenses, unload Teslas for pennies on the dollar and not repurchase new Teslas because they aren't worth it, it just, to me, it's writing on the wall. So when these folks find out just how awful Mach-Es and F-150s are in regard to ownership, they're going to find out the same way, the same conclusion. But here's the difference between Hertz and this California Gas. I think it was California Gas or something. Let's see here. Ecolab. Who's Ecolab? Is Ecolab a gas company or something? I don't know who Ecolab is. But if Ecolab has any tie to government or taxpayer dollars, then they don't care. Because if you're the government and you've got an endless supply of money from taxpayer dollars to fund your EV initiative, for which EVs cost more to buy, cost more to maintain, cost more to repair, batteries are expensive. If you don't know how expensive a battery is, go look up a video for a Hyundai Ioniq 5. You'll be surprised at that one. So expensive to buy, expensive to maintain, expensive to repair, expensive to charge. The price per kilowatt hour is insane. Even more so, that price per kilowatt hour is doubled theoretically when the temperatures drop and your range is diminished. Folks in Chicago know what I'm talking about. And they eat up tires faster. You know, this regenerative braking and all these other features of these cars, there's a lot of negatives in regard to EVs. There's many, many negatives. And it's not just Ford, it's just EVs, okay? There are so many negatives associated with it. But when you take all those negatives and you apply them to Ford and their business model and their strategy and their fleet, Ford has already cut production. Like, the writing is on the wall. This is a terrible idea. It's an awful idea. Maybe at some point, maybe 10, 15, 20, 30 years from now, it will be as reliable as theoretically new gas-powered cars are today, which we know that isn't necessarily the case, because even Ford introduced the new Ford Bronco and it was having tremendous problems with engine failures out of their EcoBoost, which you would think is, how could this be possible? How did you let this happen? It can still happen. So to add all that on top of an EV that's more expensive in every way you look at it, limits your range, causes you to sit for hours on end charging, I don't want to have anything to do with it. I want no part of it. Thanks for watching. See you guys later.